I love this title, so I got to get over here to this title. Windows capture. Twitter to hide rules violating tweets from public figures. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, oh, so if you write a tweet that somebody doesn't like, all of a sudden it won't be seen by your congressman or the CMO of the company you're complaining about. That's what it doesn't that sound like that? Twitter to hide rules violating tweets from public figures. Okay. Well, that's not at all what it's about, but I think it's a really smart idea. Okay. So what it's about is, what I was trying to remember the guy. There have been so many prominent figures that have been blocked by Twitter for saying things that Twitter took out of context. Okay. And then Twitter blocked them, and then they got egg on their face for doing it. And these are people with hundreds of thousands or millions of followers. And the social media is in a tough spot. And the reason they're in a tough spot is because if they editorialize, if they let some people in and some people they keep out, the problem they have is that then they're controlling the content, then they're sort of liable for the damages that causes. Not that that's been sorted out in the courts yet, although there was an article yesterday about civil rights for social media. Anyway, so the problem is, what do we keep out and what do we keep in? And what Twitter has decided was that maybe if they think it violates the rules, they should, put a banner over it that says, you gotta say you really want this. We're not taking, sort of like websites that say this might have violent content or something like that. You might not want to watch this. So that seems to be the direction Twitter's going. I think is very, very wise, because I don't think you can block some and not others, and it's very difficult to say. And even your user base takes sides, and they want to block everybody on one side, and the other side wants to block everybody on the other side. And we just can't have that. That's not what the internet's about. So I think we'll see. Who knows what the unintended consequences will be, but let's go with it. Let's see that. Okay, so next I want to talk about customer experience and customer emotion. Oh, but before I do, the smart workplace bridging the gap between physical and digital. That is crucial. There's another crucial thing today. Bridging the gap between digital and physical. Okay? Before I go into that, though, I want to show you the problem we have here. Here's the original article on Customer Think. Nothing like black on black to be readable. I've got a couple of things to say to Customer Think, but their design is awful, and worse yet, their system. Watch this. So what I'm going to do, I'll pull it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button up here. You can't see me hit it, but looks like a little page thingy, and it takes away the side stuff. And watch what happens. I'm going to hit the button so you can see the button. Now, look at the author, Diana Serrano. And when I hit the button, look what happens. Turns to Mark. Now, the reason I use that button, which simplifies the website so I can show it to you, is, so that it makes sense on the screen. But when I do that, it changes the author. So Customer Think, straighten that out, okay? And so I told, and these things, I love this stuff. But let's kill that. Okay, so let's go over here and talk again. So this is not the author, and nowhere does the author's real name appear anymore once I hit that button. So Customer Think, get your act together. Your design is awful, and your testing with Firefox is worse than awful. But anyway, what Diana talks about here is not really what I'm after, but she says the ability to map public places, airports, convention centers. You think about all the conventions you go to, wandering around with your little map trying to figure out where you are and where the booth is that you said you were going to visit so that you can go to a big dinner party. and have a good time after it closes. You can't find the people. Or or what about, I want to find this person, where we could all start finding people. Maybe that'll never happen, but there's got to be a way to do it. And the physical is where we live, and the digital is an assist. And we got to keep that in mind. And with that in mind, I thought I would show you a nifty IKEA ad, which I didn't know about. I'd never seen it before. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay, the ad has an area on it that you can actually do a pregnancy test, which is shocking, right? And then you get a discount. You get a discount on the cribs at IKEA. Now, why is that important? That's enough of that. You don't even know why it's important. Why it's important is this digital ad, TV ad or whatever, this hopefully targeted to women demographically, but the ad is in a magazine, and the magazine binds in this piece of paper that has a pregnancy test embedded in it. Now, maybe you're not pregnant, but maybe you know somebody who's trying, and you can tear it out. And I would say get a second opinion, because those things aren't always accurate, especially if you got it for free by tearing a page out of a magazine. But what an amazing thing. Why is that amazing? Because it integrates print, because it could be a mailer. It happens to be a magazine ad. Amazing. So there's increasing ways, and this is what I was talking about on REI yesterday. REI needs to make sure they connect the magazine with the consumer and connect the features with their products. Simple. It's simple. People love those stories about how their products succeeded or failed or are designed better. And that's why I want to talk to you about the print event. The print event is the premier conference for integrating print into your omni-channel marketing in a digital world. What you got to understand is we live in the physical. We don't live in the digital. And the physical can get you into the digital. It can bridge that gap, just like Diana was talking about. We need to be thinking about bridging that gap. Okay? So I'll be there August 6 and 7 up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I encourage you to come up and say hi. Okay? So now we're going to go back to my thing. I wanted to talk about semiotics. Semiotics. I never heard of this before. Semiotics is an integration of emotion and how design evokes emotion and how customers process emotion. And the roots go back to the 1600s, and they were talking about logo design, and it's a new thing. I've never heard of it before, and it says you rarely hear people question the traditional view that emotions are something that's embedded within you as an individual person. But what they're studying is, they said, when someone uses words like disgust, happy, sad, devastated, love, etc., there's a systemic and orderly pattern to it. When you talk about sadness, you're talking about something that can be negotiated. So if I post on Facebook and say, I'm sad today, my friends will say, John, why are you sad? Oh, don't be sad. That kind of stuff. Think happy thoughts, whatever it is. And we'll cooperate with each other. If I say I'm disgusted, by the way my luggage was treated, let's say, or something, people can commiserate, but they won't try to negotiate. They won't say, oh, you're mistaken. That's an airline's right to beat your luggage. It won't happen. It'll be orderly. And I'm not going to explain the whole thing today. I just want you to think about it. That we worry too much about what these emotions might mean rather than giving customers a chance to express themselves. And that's a wonderful thing. People are looking for the opportunity to perform. That's the basis of Facebook. Okay, so stop worrying about making people happy and give them an opportunity to express it if they are, or give them an opportunity to commiserate. Instagrammable moments. If you give the customers the opportunity to react, to take sides, to pledge allegiance, you're en route to customer engagement. I'm John Miglash. Something to think about. Like and share. Your friends will think you're smart. Have a great day.